Oh, yes.
Give
All
me a
of
few.
me.
Give me. Okay, I'm gonna learn all of me.
The Fly Me to the
All
Moon
of me.
perfectly.
Okay, fly me to the moon. All of me.
Please be
When I come
true. That one.
Please be true.
Yeah. Remember, that's F sharp.
Right.
Yeah, that one.
So we're gonna do that one. Okay, so we'll do it. But you give me a couple of songs to work with on that.
And one hard song.
Why one hung song?
Fever.
Fever?
By Ella Fitzgerald. So that one is only like 4 chords, but you gotta do some sexy stuff there.
Really? You gotta work in so you have to have the rhythm in there. You gotta put all that in there.
It's all the same notes.
All the same notes, but you gotta be able to mix them up and make them nice.
Mix it. And I'm gonna give you the how I sing it.
Okay.
And so how the sax plays it.
Okay.
And then try to just imagine how you can do different kinds of stuff.
Okay, with it. Okay.
And it's the easiest is the hardest.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. That's just like in editing. To do a 1 hour interview is easy, but to get it down to a minute or 30 seconds,
It's hard.
It's the hardest because you have to compile all the ideas, all the thoughts in a few moments. But if you have a long time to express it, it doesn't take long. You get it over the time. That's easy.
Do you know the song of Beyonce, Halo?
Halo, little halo.
Remember those walls are built.
Okay.
So it's only 4 chords.
Right.
It's A, D flat, F sharp, A minor.
Okay.
It's only those 4. Then, 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 only 4. But it's only going back. But how she sings it
makes a big difference. Right? She changes every time.
She changed it. And then it has different kinds, and boom, it's phenomenal.
It comes out beautiful.
Beautiful.
Wow. Melodina, I want to thank you for coming here this morning.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. I mean,
and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you so much. Today is Valentine's Day, but this is going to go out probably a while after that. So this might not go out until March or maybe even April because of how far back it is.
It's okay.
But it's still going to go out. Melodina, I want to start off by asking, where were you born?
Madrid, in Spain.
Madrid.
Yes.
Right. Now, I've gotten to know you a little bit now, so I know that your father met your mother there.
In Spain.
In Spain.
Yes.
Your father's Italian.
Yes.
You have one older brother.
Yes.
And you're close with your family. I know that.
Very close.
And then all of you moved from there to the Philippines.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And you basically raised in the Philippines.
Yes. Kamusta?
Right. So you speak Tagalog?
I speak Tagalog, English, Japanese, Spanish, some Italians.
And some Italian?
Yeah.
Wow. Now tell me this, because we've done something that I'm going to keep a surprise.
Okay.
Right? And it has to deal with music. And I got to watch you perform for the first time.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by.
You're right. So when I watched you performing, when did you start singing? When did you,
yeah.
You know, how old were you when you first started
That's actually
singing?
yes, I was actually 3 years old.
You remember that time?
I remember going on top of our table.
Okay.
The dining table. We only have one table. And I was like climbing, I remember that, and I had a spoon. And then that's where I started like singing the song of, it's called One Moment in Time of Whitney Houston.
When you were 3 years old?
Yes, 3, 4 years old, something like that,
Okay,
yeah. I remember I was kindergarten.
Okay.
And I had this, you know, you call that in the Philippines, Crayola.
Okay, Crayola, yes. Crayons,
yeah.
yes.
So I had a book, and I was like doing this like pink, different kinds of colors, like a rainbow. And I was eating this, we call it that, the cornflakes.
Okay.
But there was a different name. It was just Kellogg's or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And my mother used to like put this like milk, and then I said like, give me one moment in time, and I couldn't even pronounce it.
Right.
But it's just a little bit of it, and then she's like, put me on the table, go for it, sing. Even though I don't know the words much.
And you did it, because at 3 you're inhibited. You don't have any. You're not afraid of anything. You just go for it.
I just go for it, and That's why it says there on my resume, my profile says that I started on top of the table eating my breakfast in the morning at this time. I think much earlier, and then we had a spoon, like holding the spoon, and that was my microphone. And we didn't have a karaoke back then. You know, it's like the cassette tape and stuff. Like yeah.
So what happened after that? How did your career start to mature? In elementary school, what were you like in elementary school?
Elementary school, I remember that time.
Did you sing in elementary school as well?
Yes, all of the school.
So
some other
such
school.
As?
Yes. You call that programs, right?
Okay. Yes.
So I started actually singing just only in a class. And they said, like, my classmates were saying, "Oh, she sings." And I said, "Yeah, sing." And then, "Come on, Melody, go sing." And then the teacher would tell me, like, "Do you want to sing?" Yes. So I go. And then I started like singing the a cappella. And I was singing, I remember the song, Ave Maria. Because I go to church all the time with my mother.
Right.
And they always play the song. And I started singing then. I used to be a choir. When I was 6, 7 years old.
You got into the choir?
Choir, yes.
Does your mother sing?
She does, but out of timing. But she's a professor in school.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Right. Yes. Your father, was he a musician?
He was a janitor at the very beginning, and then he learned by himself.
Okay.
Music, and I don't know it. Actually, that's the only thing I know. But one thing that I have seen growing up, he was writing his own music. He was writing his own music charts.
Because you showed me one the other day when I was with you. You showed me, you still have his own music charts.
Everything, yeah.
That's interesting.
You can tell it's old.
Of course
it's
it was.
Old,
Yes.
You know,
yellowed at the edges, and you can tell.
It's just written by like you know, pencil, like that, you know. And I keep it because for me it's diamond.
Right.
You know, because my father is not here anymore.
Yes, you told me.
And the only thing that I want is to pursue his dreams.
Right.
And it's also my dream.
His dream was for you to be a singer?
His dream is for him to become someone.
I
Because
see.
he was a piano player.
I see.
But it was too late for him because he got cancer. He had actually like the limb or something like that, and then he had a stroke. So it was hard. I was 8 years old back then. And I saw my father just fell on the ground, and all of a sudden he couldn't play anymore. So I started doing lots of singing competitions like that. And it was just only my mom and my dad tried to help me out at the time. We didn't have money. We didn't have anything at all.
Was your brother involved at all? Did he sing?
Yes, he was. He played. Do you know? It's called bandoria. It's a bandoria. It's kind of like a guitar, like.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. So he played that.
He plays that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not really a guitar, but he has different kinds of. There's many strings. And I remember he plays that, and he played also piano, a keyboard, and guitar as well. But my brother also got brain aneurysm lately. Yes.
Right.
So I'm the only one, thank God, that still okay, and hopefully more good health, so I can help my family more.
Right.
Yes.
So in elementary school you were singing.
Singing.
You're doing that. Then what about when you went to junior high? Then you came here actually very young.
Very young.
You
yes.
came to Japan when you were 14 years old.
Yes. Yes.
My goodness. So what was that like for you to come here at 14?
I was crying.
You were crying.
The first day.
Did you come alone?
I tell you this. This is actually very funny.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I never actually been anywhere. So my father always telling me. He used to tell me all the time, go to Tokyo, go to Japan. Where is that? I didn't know. So he was showing me all his picture in Sapporo. I didn't know where it was. He looked good, huh? Yeah. And I was like, I don't know where it is, but it's not here. But okay, where is it? And he told me like, it's like 4 hours away from here, from the Philippines. And I said, do you used to go there? Yes. I said, so where's Japan? So I thought it was just only an hour away. He told me 4 hours, but I thought, you know, you can go 4 hours like in the Philippines somewhere by car. So it was just, I thought it was just like, because we live in Cavite. It's a province, you know, so just a small province. And I thought that it was just like we're going to take a bus. That's what I thought. So I started actually singing from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then when I developed more singing, I was 9. That time, 9 years old. That's the time I really pursue more.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of music did you like to sing? What genre?
Interesting. Pops.
Pops.
Yes.
For example, okay, what's the first song that you sang when you really felt good about it because you knew you could sing it? You're 9 years old. You're really singing it. What
What about this? I got forced by my mom.
What was that?
I got forced by my mom to learn the song.
Okay.
It's called "The Greatest Love of All."
Oh,
that's the one I
beautiful.
sang the last time when I cried.
Yes.
Because the meaning of the song is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, Whitney Houston's really, really big, even up to this time. And I told myself, okay, I'm going to learn all of this music. You know, so my mother used to borrow money from, we're calling it in the Philippines like Bombay. They like the Indian people that goes over there and they lend the money.
Yes.
And then my mother was going to borrow some money so that way I can just go to school, to music school. And I was doing also like the normal school.
Yes.
So I'm like overtime, yeah, double time. I was like, my mother always tells me like, you make sure you be home at 4. Yes, I will be. If you're late 20 minutes, you know what's going to happen. And I say, I got it. So before I go, oh, Lord, please tell me, you know what this is.
Right.
This is my mom is going to be like, because I have to be disciplined. So you come back home and what you do is you practice. I practice. So we have this cassette, the karaoke where we put the cassette tape. And I was going to play that, and I got so many, even up to this time I still have all of those cassette tapes. And my father was a piano player at that time too, before he got sick. And every morning at 4:30 in the morning, I'm going to wake up just to do vocalization. Ha 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 ha, Mary had a little lamb, like that.
Right.
Just to stretch my voice, go higher and higher. But my muscle, the muscle of my throat was not strong. That's why my mother always tells me like, 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day, 1 hour a day. I gotta do that, and I was not drinking cold water, no sweets, no ice cream. A little sweet is okay. And I used to eat, I just like the raw egg.
Okay, yes.
It's kind of like boxing, you know?
Yes, yes.
But it's not for my energy. It's for my throat.
Okay, really?
Because it slips.
I see, to keep it lubricated well.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the one actually really, I was like, oh.
Raw egg.
Raw egg. 1 raw egg, and then I start doing practice. And then I was doing this fiesta, you're calling that fiesta, it's a feast. And they always have like singing competitions, and I go, even I lose, it doesn't matter.
It didn't matter, just to be in it.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter to me. Well, it hurts me because I didn't care about the money. I want to get the money for my mom so that way she can pay for electricity bills, the house, the rent, to help, you know. I just wanted a trophy. I just want even 3rd place just to get in. I couldn't. It took me a while.
Right.
School also like the same, it took me a while.
So then you come to Japan at 14.
Yes.
What'd you do?
That's after high school.
After high school, okay.
Yes, that's after high school.
All right.
I was in a band. It's called music motion. I was the front, the main singer.
Right.
And they all call me Sugar.
Okay.
Because I'm sweet little girl, and I sing all of different kinds of music, but no jazz at the time. My father was a jazz player and a Latin music player, pianist, but at the time I was like, no, I didn't want to play jazz. And he said, look, if you go there to Tokyo, to Japan, you have to learn jazz. And in able for you to learn jazz too, you gotta know the key. Because the piano players will ask you, what's your key? What's your key? And you always have to remember. I don't know what the key was at the time. Because I used to really just like sing cassette tape and the keys, they're already.
Right, right.
You know? I don't know.
Do you have a key that you prefer to sing in?
Yes.
Which key is that?
F.
You prefer to sing in F, the key of F?
Yes.
Okay.
And B flat.
And B flat. Okay.
That's C.
Uh-huh.
F minor.
Right.
Kind of high. I'm more comfortable. Somehow, I can also go low if I want to.
Right.
But I'd rather like have the feeling of singing it not so loud, but at the same time, singing it a little high. It's like Loving You.
Right.
You know, it starts in A, the intro, but it's in D. So, because it gets higher. But you don't need to use a whistle. You just need to use your falsetto.
I see.
And it feels so good, you know.
Right. What about vibrato? How did you develop your vibrato?
Oh, that is like different. You do more like.
Okay.
Then.
But you have to do it down here, not up here, right?
I did a tongue thrill.
Okay, that's the
This
thrill.
is the lip.
Right.
Lip roll.
Right. But what about? But what about the? You know, when you're doing the vibrato and down here.
That is when you're singing like. Ah!
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you do
yes.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it take you a long time to develop that?
Yes, it took me 7 years.
7 years to develop that, the vibrato.
Yes, because I have a vibrato, but the highest part, they can't believe it, that even the high part I can have the vibrato. Even the low one I have. High, normally, but you gotta control it because not all the time you should have it. One thing about it, maybe I got used to it. My father's rock and roll.
He loves rock and roll. That's what he likes.
He has a. He doesn't actually really sing, yeah, but he plays really good any kinds of instruments. And then when he sings, he got a vibrato.
Does he really?
And I don't know why, okay. But he has it. You know, he had it that time, and I was like amazed by it. But I didn't know that you gotta learn also that. That it took me a while to learn how to control, to modulate, not to be so loud and so stuff. Because pop R&B music, it could be really loud.
Right.
But there are other people like, you know, like they're talking. You don't say BGM. The background music is kind of hard to hear that if you're performing. You call that respect to the people who's actually there at the lounge, you know, and you're still singing. You gotta have to choose what kind of songs. Just because, for example, you know that you're good, that doesn't mean you gotta do it too forced, you know, no. Because there are other people who need to do some business and stuff, and that's what my father told me. And I used to sing really loud because I was doing competition in all of the school. And the school was telling me like, the other school wants you. What school? Okay, let me just call my mom because I don't know what to say. Right. It's called annex. So the main, I'm singing there, that's the school, for example, and when I was in high school. And the other high school, which is the annex of that main, wants me for the competition, but I don't go to that school.
Right.
So my mother told me, just go. So I sing, and the song I sang it's called, the Barbara Streisand's called, What Kind of Fool Am I?
Yes.
So in the Philippines, we have this lady, this girl called, her name is Regine Velasquez. I wanted to be her back then. She has this voice that really, really high. We call her Songbird.
Okay.
She can be really high and she can be really soft and she can have so much love. And her father also taught her how to sing.
Tell me this. Growing up, what inspired you the most? What are some of the things that you inspired that you always keep in the back of your head? Like, for example, phrases that motivate you. Do you have any phrases that you like to say to yourself on a regular basis to keep you motivated?
When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is to pray.
Okay.
I ask God for guidance, make sure I make the right decision. And before I sleep as well, I thank God for the whole day. Lord, thank you for the day. This is such a blessing. Thank you. And I'm looking forward for tomorrow. And please wake me up the right time because I got a podcast. And it was just right on time, and make sure that you are going to pack also before you leave. Gotcha. Yes.
Name some people that really inspire. You already named one person. You said the woman that you want to be like, sing like
Regine Velasquez.
And everything else. Do you have other people that inspired you?
Ah, yes. Another person in the Philippines. Her name is Dulce. She got this song once. It's called Isang Pangarap. Isa means one. Pangarap means dream. So, one dream. And this song made from one of the composers that I know. And it's called like, the meaning of the song is something about your father, that who wants to have something, like kind of like my father, wants to be somebody.
Right.
Someone who has a dream to become a really great piano player that he's really great, well known, you know. And it doesn't have to be like in a television or anything like that,
right.
But just respect.
Right.
Someone that would say, yes, I know Mike. I know him.
Right.
Very good piano player. And that is my dream before he passed away. And the meaning of the song is actually, boom, right about me, about my father and me. And this is the dream that I want to have, to get the dream that my father wanted to be. And I will pursue it, and I will do it. And if my father is still alive and he sees me in heaven, he will be proud of me if he's still alive. And today is his birthday, by the way.
That's it? Today's his birthday?
Yes, yes.
He's born on Valentine's Day?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Exactly.
That's so beautiful. I think he hears you. He knows that you feel that way about him.
I still have his picture like singing rock and roll.
Oh, you do?
Yes. It's like right next to Jesus, making sure that, Dad, do you think today is the right day to do this decision? And I look, he has that microphone. He was singing like, living up at the Hotel California. And I was like, why are you singing that song? I'm not gonna join. And then so to my brother. Everybody sing, except my mom just keep eating popcorn. You go ahead and do whatever you guys like. I'm gonna have a Coca-Cola. Make sure it's diet. That's it. You know, that's like my mother.
And she's doing well.
She's doing well.
That's good.
Fantastic.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Very strong woman.
That's good to hear.
Yes, yes.
What's happened recently in your life that you find really notable, that you're excited about? What's happening recently?
Going to Dubai and listening to you.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. Okay, that's supposed to be a surprise.
Right. But you're going to Dubai when?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
How long are you going to be there? This is business, right?
Business.
This one's business.
This one is business.
But it could end up being for a long period of time. You don't know.
Honestly, only God knows what's going to happen. But I would never I would just say, okay, but I wouldn't go.
I understand. But something's making you want to go this time?
This time it feels right. And I didn't think twice. It's like, I have been praying for all my life for this. But I never thought it's going to be this big. And I never thought that I would have this dream that I wanted. It's still a blessing that I get by until then, and now for so long, see how it goes, and so I can help my brother to have a surgery, you know, and so that way he can walk, right, you know. My mother, she's okay. She's very strong, you know. She got her own church, so her mind is very sharp. I always tell her, you don't leave the church, you make sure next to the house and do whatever you like, you know. The garage is our church. Many people comes and they're so happy. They're like, it's called El Shaddai.
El Shaddai.
It's Catholic.
Yes.
In the Bible, it's not Allah, it's called El Shaddai, and it's about Jesus Christ carry the cross for you. And he does it all the time. You know, when we're having a hard time, he does it. And I always think that when I make a decision, I ask for help to God and make sure that the decision I make is right. And if I feel like I have anxiety about it, I don't go for it. I wait. I always do that.
That's one of your key things to do.
Yes.
I see.
Because if you marinate a little bit, it's kind of like before you cook some, you know, like I love to cook, by the way. Okay. It's one of my passion. If you want a really good taste in the meat, you kind of have to marinate it a little bit. So it sucks the soy sauce or whatever you put, the vinegar, garlic. Ooh, yummy. So, and then we bake it or we fry it, and it tastes amazing. And you wait. Make sure it's tender. That's how I think about when it comes to decision. Even when I was a little girl. But of course, when you're much younger, you're more aggressive. And then my mother always tells me, like, keep your mouth shut and think thoroughly. Because if you don't think, you will never know. And so, also, before you speak, you make sure you think. Do I always have to think before I speak? Yes. That's a lot of thinking. And then I mean, like, of course, but when you make mistakes, that's how you learn, right? And I'm actually really passionate about my mother and my dad, how they are to me, and so is my brother. My brother, like, does a lot of mistakes, by the way, but he learned. But, you know, I love the way he is. It's just, I will never change anything about him. And even when far away, far apart, he's always going to be my brother.
How often do you get to go home? We just got over COVID.
Yeah.
We just got over COVID, but have you been back since then?
No, actually, it took me like 2.5 years before I went back. Only last year. My mother was telling me, why didn't you just come back home? I said, no, because I'm not giving up. Just because of this, nuh-uh. Yeah, but you just have to come back home. It doesn't work anyway. I do have some jobs. Really? Yes. That keeps me going. And I want to stay because of the COVID. There's too much people when you go to the, what do you call it, the airport. And I don't want to be in the middle of it. You know, it's a lot of people. So I said, like, let it go. Plus you can talk to me anyway, anytime you like, you know. But I'm worried about you. I understand. But remember, you told me, be independent. So I am. You also be independent. You know, my mother calls me a fireball.
Melodina, before I end the podcast, I always ask this question.
Yes.
Knowing what you know now, if you could go back in time and meet the younger you, what time would you go back to, and what advice would you give yourself?
What about giving advice to other people as well, that who wants to have dreams, that even it starts from small and becomes big? I say, work hard, and I will never change a thing. From the start, from the moment I was born, not even in a hospital, I was born in a house. I will never change anything at all. Not one thing. I love everything that happened to me. And I thank God for everything that He's given me, blessing, and to my family. And meeting you is wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to thank all of you for watching this podcast. Make sure you press like and subscribe. And remember, it's all on loan, so continue to reach for the stars because you're too blessed to be stressed.